So you want to grow cuttings from a citrus tree. Good on ya. First thing you need to do is find a good tree. This is my lime tree. It's covered in limes. It's quite a mature tree and really good. Now what you want to do is find bits like this, ones that are newish, so they're not old brown wood, but at the same time they're not so new that they just bend easily. When you bend it, you want to feel that bit of resistance. You want to take your cuttings in the morning because the tree sucks in moisture overnight and dries out over the day. These cuttings are about to go through a pretty hard time, so the more moisture they can start off with, the better. It's also beautiful being out here in the morning, bit of bird song in the background, can't go wrong. Next is the list of stuff you'll need. I probably should have done this at the start. First off, some good potting mix. It's about $8 a bag in New Zealand. Can't be too expensive anywhere, I guess. Next, a good set of pots to use. Don't use anything too big, because if they don't make it, you will have wasted a bunch of potting mix. Your secateurs, little clippers. People talk about you have to sterilise them. I've never done that. Maybe that'll bite me in the arse one day. Next is some rooting hormone. Most things I've seen talk about powder. I use a liquid rooting hormone, organic, just because that's my preference, but any product is going to do the trick. Next you want some sandwich bags, preferably with a little tag so that you can write on them. You want a decent sized sandwich bag, something that's going to fit 2 proper sandwiches in it. Next is some rubber bands. That's our household supply of rubber bands, twisties, screws and stuff. It's only the rubber bands in there you want. And last off, a pen. You know what a pen is, right? Now here's an example of a cutting. It's between 10 and 15 centimetres long, or 4 and 6 inches. You can see at the bottom I've cut it on an angle, about a 45-degree angle. That increases the surface area available. If you were to just make a flat cut, it would have a smaller surface area, so have less chance of sucking up some nutrients and coming to life. Now this is a prepped cutting. There's 2 things I've done here. First off is cut off all the leaves, except I leave the top 2, and cut those back to about 2 centimetres. The second thing I've done is scraped off all the green covering from the bottom inch or so. This is to increase the surface area available to the nutrients, so again increases the chances of this little guy growing roots and coming to life. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier about taking the cutting, when you take the cutting you want this point, like, oh, here's where a leaf came off, you want to cut just below where a leaf came off. I don't know why, it's what I've been told and it's what everyone says, so yeah. Next, for a bit of prep, filled all the pots with potting mix. Notice I use potting mix, not seed mix. Potting mix is cheaper and I've just had better luck with it. I think it's because it's a bit coarser, but I don't know, it works, so I run with it. The second thing you want to do is write on all your little bags what exactly you're planting. Nothing worse than growing 3 different types of citrus, having them all come to life and not knowing which is which, having to wait years for them to start fruiting to be able to tell. So now it's come time to plant them. Just drop your twig in the rooting hormone for about 5 seconds or so. Just follow the directions on the pack. I think powders use a different method to liquids it anyway. Just do what it tells you to. Shake off the excess, chuck it in the hole, and then pat down around the hole, which is much easier with 2 hands if you're not carrying a camera. Once you've squeezed that down, it's going to be a bit low. You want to fill, so I'm going to fill that back up right up to the top with potting mix, pat it down some more. You want it to be quite firmly in there. Now you're looking good, you're all planted, you're all filled up, you've all been prepped. You just want to give them all a good watering. I use the mist feature on my hose just because it doesn't absolutely pelt them with water, just gives them a nice shower as if they'd, you know, really getting rained on. If you use the jet feature, you're just going to blow these things straight out of there. Yeah, give them a really solid watering. That's looking good. Well, this is the next part of the process. I didn't want to try and do this one-handed, so I did it, and now I'm recording it and telling you about it. Basically, as you can see, you chuck the sandwich bag over the top, you put a rubber band around it. This just creates a little environment for it to keep warm, keeps its moisture in. This is the secret. This is what made me go from having a 10% success rate to a 90% success rate with citrus. It's just working so well, and I'm about to get carried away and do hundreds of these. Now here's one I prepared earlier, planted about 3 weeks ago, and you can see that tiny little bit of new growth on the top. If there's new growth on the top, it means it's taken root and you're onto a winner. It's been in the plastic bag up until about a minute ago for its entire life, and I'm going to put it back in the plastic bag too. Just took it off for a bit of show and tell. She looks really happy. You know, this one took about 3 weeks, but don't be impatient. Sometimes it can take 6 or 7 weeks, so don't throw it out, because there's still a chance it'll take root. This one's looking really good. I've got tons of these inside. There's I just grow them in our conservatory, but if you can find a spot by a window that's really sunny, you're onto a winner. As far as watering goes, water them about every 2 days, just to put them on a plate or something. Put the water in the plate, don't take the bag off to water them from the top. You'll be onto a winner in no time. I keep these guys growing in these little pots until you can see a root popping out the bottom. There's none as yet, so as soon as I see one little finger starting to crawl out of there, I'm going to put it into a medium sized pot. Then once it's outgrown that, I just put it into your typical bucket. Now here's another one I prepared earlier. He's about 4 months since I did the cutting. Just got him in a bucket off a really good lemon tree we've got. As you can see, it looks really healthy. The leaves are vibrant. If it has any fruit this year, because we're just coming into winter, any flower buds, I'm probably going to pick them off, because that'll help the tree grow quicker. This one is going to be a present for a friend who just bought a house, but these can be presents for people. Plant them in your own garden if you've got the room, plant them in your communities, give them away for free. Each of these cost me about $2.50, which is about $1 worth of potting mix, about $1 for the bucket. All the things like the plastic bags are reusable. The rooting mix cost me $8, and I guess I'm going to be able to do about 5,000 cuttings out of the bottle I got. So there's pretty much nothing tied in it. The tree I got this off gives me about 200 kilos of lemons a year, so pick a wise tree and you'll do well. Yeah, go hard, have fun, share the story, give food away, build strong communities, and have a good day.